Premier League primetime on tape. Jose, Cyrus, and Andre. And you know that Daveye don't play. In the field, they can talk about it all day. Look, and we moving up. You can try all you want, can't move like us. When it all comes down, they choosing us. And I do gotta say, we don't give a fuck. Premier League primetime, and it's only that. Speak only facts. Say what I want, can't hold me back. Can't hold me back. Premier League primetime, better yet, it's my time. You stay on the sideline. Say what I want, can't hold me back. Premier League primetime.
Hello and welcome back once again to Premier League Primetime. And of course, I am joined by Mr. Orest. How are you doing?
Yes, Dave, I'm doing good. It's glad to be back on the Premier League Primetime. As always, subscribe to him. And yeah, I'm just glad to be back on.
100%. And also go and subscribe to Football Fan Show. You know, he got to 200. Keep him going. Subscribe to Football Fan Show. His channel will be in the link. The link to it will be in the description below. And without further ado, let's get right into this. This past week, 2 games have been played. On Tuesday, Southampton hosted Brentford and they won 4-1. What did you make of the game? Anyone that stood out to you? Of course, I know you're going to say your boy. I know you're going to say your boy Armando Broja.
Of course. Yeah, you know what? Armando Broja, very, very good player. Southampton just getting the wins as they needed, and Ralph Hasenhüttl is doing. I would say he's doing a decent job so far, and let's see if he can be consistent with Southampton. Yeah, good win for them, for Southampton. Let's see if they can make at least, I would say, top 10 for the season, but it will be tricky. But yeah, good win for them.
Ralph Hasenhüttl has always been a good manager. I've said it for a really long time that he's one of the most underrated managers in the Premier League. And for me, I think he definitely deserves to be at, you know, I'm not saying a top 6 Premier League club, but definitely at a higher Premier League club than a better Premier League club than Southampton, to be honest with you. I think he's the kind of manager that I actually think Leeds really, really need. I think that's the kind of manager that Leeds could definitely use with. He definitely would tighten short things up at the back. And, you know, he definitely has, or is one of Ralph Rangnick's disciples, as he's one of the many disciples of Ralph Rangnick, so he has a similar playing style, you know. But, you know, at least his players consistently, you know, play his playing style well each and every week. Into the next game, that was yesterday, West Ham played Norwich and they cruised to a 2-0 victory. Jared Bowen got disallowed twice, not once, but twice, for goals from VAR. But of course, he was able to score twice, 2 goals from Jared Bowen. What did you make of the game? Any players that stood out to you other than Jared Bowen, of course?
Good win for West Ham. I think Declan Rice played good for them, and I've always said with Declan Rice, I rate him highly. And if there was one thing that United can do to get a CDM, and that was, for me, it would be Rice. But yeah, I think West Ham played well.
Central midfielder. I think that's almost every United fan's dream central midfielder. But you know, looking at West Ham, and David Moyes said a little while ago that £100 million bargain for Declan Rice, that's gone. So you know, he'll definitely be worth well more than that in today's market, not actual player value. And he's English, so you know, you're also adding, you know, another 20, 30, 40 million pounds on top of what David Moyes is already going to price him at, just purely because of his potential and his ability. So that would be very difficult to get done. Would never in a million years happen in January, maybe perhaps in the summer if West Ham don't get in the top 4. But I mean, who knows? I mean, that would be a brilliant signing. And Declan Rice just keeps getting better every single game. It's just a phenomenal player. And now we're going to take a look into the games in match day 22. And we'll start off with Brighton hosting Crystal Palace. Predictions for this game and key players for both sides.
I think this is going to be a very, very good match to watch, especially I would say two good managers in terms of watching them both. Key players, I would say for Brighton, Arsenal won't like this, but Morpay and for Palace, I would say Conor Gallagher maybe, Mikel Olise, he's been very, very good. And I did watch the FA Cup game, Crystal Palace, and yeah, this could be an interesting game. And I think I could see a draw in this game, but it's gonna be a very interesting game to watch, in my opinion.
100%. Yeah, I think a player that you left out, or that I think has been phenomenal, is Mark Cucurella. Came in from Getafe. He's been brilliant for Brighton. Sirius has pointed him out time and time again as a standout player for Brighton, and he's right. He's been a standout player for Brighton. He's been phenomenal since he's come in. He's been superb for them. He had interest from the likes of Barcelona, Inter Milan, etc. Coming to Brighton, I think that's really, really done him good, really done him well by doing so. Definitely getting the playtime he needs in his development. Very good player, promising one for the future. And Crystal Palace, of course, yes, Conor Gallagher always, for me, you'd have to say, right? Conor Gallagher's been their best player this season by a million miles, hasn't he?
Yeah, I agree.
100%. And I can't really say any more on that one, but if you're asking me in terms of my own predictions, I think it will be a draw, personally. And I'm already doing this now. You can record this now in your in the match day in our own predictions. For those who don't know, on his channel, himself, he's the host of Football Fan Show. Myself and a bunch of his other co-hosts and guests that he has on his show, we were all in this league, I guess you could say. And it's just basically trying to get the predictions for each game correctly every week. So yeah, we can just record this in the predictions for this week, actually. So I think this will be a really interesting. I think it could very well be a draw, but I think Crystal Palace will snatch it late at the end. I think it could be 2-1 Palace, but it could very easily be a draw. Also, I'll say 2-1 Palace for now. What about you?
I'm gonna say 1-1.
All right, fair enough.
I could change it for my prediction because maybe I might not stick to it. I'm just gonna look at what Hardeep says, and if he says something, I'll just.
No. Make your predictions now. Don't copy Hardeep.
All right, 1-1. Final prediction.
Right. Fair enough. Next, one of the biggest games of the weekend, arguably the biggest game of the weekend, Manchester City hosting Chelsea now. This will be a very interesting game. Key players for both sides in regards to form. For me, Bernardo's got to be one of them because he's been right on top of his game. It's been in very, very good form for them. Has to be a player to mention. Who are the key player or would be key players on both sides? And what's your prediction?
Key players for both sides for Chelsea, I would say Rudiger and Thiago Silva. And Rudiger's been fantastic for Chelsea this season. He's definitely proven eating my words, because for me, before I did not rate Rudiger, but now he's been changing my mind now on him. So Rudiger's been key for me. Also Thiago Silva as well. Also maybe Lukaku, maybe, but yeah, for City, I would say Bernardo Silva. He's been amazing. A fraud that I don't rate, De Bruyne. I'm joking, but yeah, De Bruyne. I'll say Rodri as well.
I'll say this right now about Kevin De Bruyne, right? Yeah. Regardless if you like him or not, he's a world-class player at the end of the day. You'd have to admit that.
Yeah, of course, yeah. He's a world-class, yeah.
All right, and good. But now, who do you think will win in this fixture? But in the battle between, and again, the clash between Tuchel and Pep Guardiola?
Cool. City 2-0. I think City will win. I think City will outclass them.
I think it will be Manchester City 2, Chelsea 1. I think Chelsea will get on the score sheet somehow, but Manchester City will be too strong. I think the title's staying with Manchester City this season. It's
coming to United. It's coming to United, David. What are you on about?
Oh, please. Please, 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 please. Next, we have Norwich hosting Everton, two of the more hopeless sides in the Premier League this season, or one of them's clearly more hopeless than the other. Surely Everton have to get themselves on the mark here. They have to get the job done in 3 points here at Norwich. Surely.
Yeah, for me, this is a must-win for Everton. I mean, Rafa Benitez, fair enough, he did beat Arsenal, but Arsenal are just Arsenal beat. But for me, must-win game for Everton, man, must-win. Especially they signed El Ghazi from Aston Villa. I don't know if he will be match fit, but I think this has to be a must-win for Everton. They need three. No excuse for me. No excuse for Everton not to get the 3 points.
100%. And for me, key players, I don't know if Charleston's I swear, that man gets injured every I don't know, like 5-6 games. I think he is still out as far as I can recall, but if he's not, he'll definitely be key player regardless. Damari Gray always has, for me, he's been their best player this season. Damari Gray by a million miles. He's coming for a bargain price of what, 2-3 million pounds from Bayer Leverkusen. Still about 23, 24, still very, very young player. Just and letting him go at the price that Bayer Leverkusen did, I was astounded. And looking at him now, if Everton were to sell in the next 2-3 years, they definitely make really, really good profit for the money they invested in him. For me, I will say Everton. I'll say 2-0 Everton.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. 2-0 Everton.
Next, another very good game. Not in terms of it being as big as I'd say the other two, one of them I mentioned yet, but Wolves versus Southampton, two teams that are right on top of their game and in form right now. Southampton, of course, putting Brentford in a split, beat them 4-1. And then, of course, you have Wolves beating an absolutely abysmal side called Shambles United by a goal to nil. Domination at Old Trafford, pure domination. This could be a very good game. Who do you think will come out on top, and what do you think will be the decisive factors or players in this game?
Two good teams based on form. It's very, very hard to predict. But I think Wolves, because they are at home, so they're gonna have advantage because of their fans. So I'm gonna say Wolves to
I'm only
win.
always helping.
Yeah, I'm on you. Yeah, I think Wolves are gonna win. Key players. I'm gonna say for Wolves, João Martino and Ruben Neves.
Ruben Neves for me is just phenomenal. He's just such a brilliant player.
He's 24 as well. I did not know that he's 24. So
very good player. And on the fan cam that I did with Gavin, he finally stopped his Ruben Neves agenda because he, for whatever reason, doesn't rate Ruben Neves and has an agenda against Ruben Neves. I don't know why, but that's his thing. But I mean, for me, I'll say Wolves will win this fixture. I'll predict 2-1. I'll say 2-1 Wolves. I think they'll get the job done at home. Next, we have Newcastle and hosting Watford. This one could also be an interesting game if you think about it. Fighting for their lives at the bottom. Watford just outside of the relegation zone as of right now, as far as I know. Newcastle, of course, they could have signed any striker in the world with the money they have. And they signed and activated a £20 million release clause for Chris Wood of Burnley. I was shocked. I was genuinely shocked. They could have brought in anyone. Apparently, they wanted some youngster from France, and I think that the French side said that they were pricing him at around 30 to 40 million. Come on, that's like pennies for you. Seriously? And they go and get Chris Wood. Nothing against Chris Wood. But do you really think Chris Wood is the signing Newcastle? I mean, yeah, it's an extra player up front, and they're badly depleted in that area. But is that really the striker that could save them this season?
No, not for me. I don't rate Chris Wood, man. He only works on the Sean Dyche Brexit football, so I don't rate Chris Wood at all. Especially 20 million for me. That's a lot of big money if you think about 20 million for Chris Wood. So I know that was his release clause in his contract apparently, but I mean it's good for the striker options because they only have Callum Wilson and Joelinton. So it's a little bit W.
He's injured for a long time.
That's interesting. So yeah, Chris Wood and Joelinton up front.
But then again, if playing against Manchester United, Joe Linton turned into prime N'Golo Kante. So you never know.
Exactly.
But key players in this game, looking at both sides, and what's your prediction?
Key players. Any key players? Dennis. Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Dennis, Newcastle, John Joe Shelby. No, I'm joking. For me, Newcastle. Okay, maybe Joelinton. Yeah, he's on a bit. St. Maximin, I know say loves to talk about him. He's injured.
Yeah, him and Callum Wilson are injured.
Oh, okay, that's a big loss for them. Yeah, so I'm gonna say.
I'll say Lascelles. He's actually been one of the decent, okay players this season. I actually think Lascelles is a decent player in the sense that not for anywhere near top tier or the top 10 clubs of the Premier League. I'm saying he's decent enough to get into a better Premier League team than Newcastle. Like, he deserves better. Decent leadership skills. I think he definitely fit in at a club that plays the system like Wolves does. I actually think Wolves would actually be a decent club for him. Not starting every week, but like as a squad player to rotate in and out. He definitely fit into that back 3, back 5 system. But what's your prediction for this game?
Watford 1-0.
Yeah, I'll predict 1-0 Watford as well.
Why copy me? Hey, why copy me? Trying to be like Ryan C. You're trying to be like Ryan C. Copy my prediction though.
Don't bother. Next we have Burnley hosting Leicester, and regardless, Burnley will never make it an easy game for them. They won't make an easy game. Maxwell Cornet, who's been arguably
he won
alongside Dwight McNeil. He's at AFCON right now, African Cup of Nations. You have Dwight McNeil, same old, and James Tarkowski, Ben Mee, just same old. You don't have Chris Wood anymore, so now it's just Jay Rodriguez and Ashley Barnes up front. And Leicester, surely this is going to be a Leicester win. I'll predict Leicester 3-1 to Bottle Job FC.
I mean,
because Brendan Rodgers is their manager, so you never know.
Yeah. Your favorite manager anyway is Brendan Rodgers, but for me, Leicester have to win this game. I know, Dave, but you wanted after Ole got sacked, you wanted Brendan Rodgers. You're like, please, Blaze,
no. Do not put words in my mouth. Do not put words in my mouth. I came on your channel and specifically said that the one person who I did not want anywhere near that job was Brendan Rodgers. Don't even start. No.
I'm only joking, but for me, I'm just happy that he is still at Leicester and he did not come near us. For me, he is a bottler, and
I mean, he won the FA Cup last year. He won a trophy, period.
Yeah, but for me, Leicester are gonna win.
That's a major achievement, considering it's Leicester City and
Leicester 2-0. Yeah, Leicester 2-0, in my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll say Leicester 3-1. In my opinion, honestly, I think they'll definitely get the job done. Next, interesting game. Aston, of course, the FA Cup replay or the FA Cup game fixture will now happen in the Premier League, this time at Villa Park. Aston Villa hosting Manchester United. This will be a very interesting game, seeing the fact how Villa are decent side and in decent form. Manchester United, honestly, just shambles FC, just an absolutely horrific and diabolical form. Well, in terms of form, we're right up there with one of the worst in the Premier League at the moment. I think only the relegation sides probably have worse form than us and Leeds. So for me, it's just horrific. It's a Premier League game. Depends on who's fit, who's not fit. Of course, key players for Aston Villa. On Philip Coutinho, I think, will actually be registered in time. I think Luca Digne, who they just signed today.
I don't think he'll be available.
If he's available, okay, then yeah, he'll be available. And Gareth Southgate's opinion on the English Baresi, aka Tyrone Mings, also available. Key player, Emi Martinez, Douglas Luiz. There are a variety of players that will cause us problems, and that did. But key players for Manchester United, of course, David De Gea. He's been so important to us all season. He's player of the year, in my opinion, by a million miles. Cristiano Ronaldo, I'd say. And this will be an odd one, but although he's been as bad as he's been, Rangnick sees Scott McTominay as a very key player due to the fact of how many games he's played. I'm not saying that I see him as a key player, but you have to say, with the amount of game time he's been playing, you must say that Rangnick definitely sees him as a very key player to our midfield at the moment.
Yeah, because of Fletcher, that's why. Fletcher, he's in the coach stuff.
I wouldn't say because of Fletcher, no.
No, Dave, come on, man. Fletcher.
Rangnick picks the lineup, he picks him. So I know, like.
Why Fletcher tells Rangnick, mate, you have to start McTominay every game. He's Scottish, play him every game. Yeah, no, trust me, man. Darren Fletcher, he's saying something like that to Rangnick. He's saying, play McTominay every game. Plus, I think United will get a CDM this January, but we're not here to talk about transfers.
Heavily linked to Dennis Zakaria, who is he's just an amazing player. He is one of the best young defensive midfielders in world football at the moment. I take him in a heartbeat, especially if can the Glazers just stop being greedy and just offer?
It's 5 million as well. 5 million as well.
5-6 million will get the job done. But you have to go over the odds. So pay 10 million and you have yourself a deal. Just go for it. He has 6 months left of his contract, and you're also overpaying slightly, so that works. But other key players, Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously.
I think Lindelof as well, key player.
Next one,
Varane as well.
Stuff over Varane, Jadon Sancho, etc.
Lindelof.
No. Score predictions.
Please. Score predictions. I'm confident of the boys. I'm going to back the boys. I'm going to back our players. 2-0 United.
I'll say 1-1.
Mr. Negative.
Here we are, Mr. Negative.
Dave, why you're never confident, are you? Because for me, if you predict a loss in the FA Cup against Villa.
I'm sorry, we don't have the form of Manchester City in the Premier League. Look at
we're gonna win. We're gonna win the Champions League. I'm calling it you right now. I'm saying that this on Premier League prime time, Manchester United Football Club will win the Champions League.
No. Real quick before we get on to the other games, predictions for the starting 11 Rangnick will play. Predictions for Rangnick's 11, because our 11 doesn't mean Diddley's squad, doesn't mean anything. So, what do you think he will go with?
Cool. McTominay short. So cool. All right, cool.
Back to the front.
Yeah.
I think he'll go 4-2-3-1. I think he'll finally stop this 4-2-2 and he'll go with the 4-2-3-1.
Yeah. So De Gea. I think he's gonna pick Wan-Bissaka for some reason, but I'm just.
And you love Wan-Bissaka. You're right.
No, I don't, mate. Because for me, when I watch him, the worst thing about watching the player is him trying to cross. He cannot cross for his life. But anyways, enough with the Wan-Bissaka slandering.
At least he's better than Hector Bellerin. Hector Bellerin is literally the worst crosser of any ball I've seen in my life.
Exactly. Dalot.
What?
Huh?
I thought you said Wan-Bissaka is going to play a right back.
I said Rangnick might play him, but I said I'm going to stick to Dalot. So there with Dalot right back. Centre backs Lindelof and Varane. But because Maguire's back, I was just saying.
He's back.
Maguire Varane. I'm saying Maguire Varane. He's going to drop Lindelof, which for me that's very harsh to do, but cool. Maguire and Varane. The left back Alex Telles. That's my left back, David. That's my left back. Who's your left back? Luke Shaw.
I love them both. I think they're both phenomenal left backs for me. Into your midfield.
Yeah. Midfield. Okay. Van de Beek and Fred. My opinion.
All right. Into the.
I don't laugh. I see you trying to laugh.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. He put out a quote. He said, "From the 70th minute when we put Donny Van de Beek on, that's when we had control of the game."
I'm sorry, but anyways,
Van de Beek is starting. I'm going to say that Van de Beek is going to start next to Fred, and then a 44. So Sancho, Bruno.
It's between Rashford and Greenwood for the other side. Or if you're playing Greenwood, you'd have to put Sancho on the left-hand side and then Greenwood on the right.
Bruno, Sancho, Rashford. But that means you're going to have to bench Cavani. Boy.
Or do you think he will go back to this 4-2-2 and do...
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. He could go back. So Bruno, Sancho, Cavani, and Ronaldo. But in terms of, if he goes 4-2-3-1, Sancho, Bruno, Rashford.
Yeah, fair enough.
Ronaldo, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, we'll do two attacks in terms of if he goes to the 4-2-2.
What's your lineup, Daveye?
I'm not, my dream lineup doesn't mean anything to Ralph Rangnick, so this will be purely based off what I think Rangnick will go with. Of course, De Gea is untouchable; he'll never be dropped. Right back, Wan-Bissaka. I think he'll want to protect Diogo Dalot with that little injury he got. So for me, I think Wan-Bissaka will play. Center back partnership, Varane and Maguire. Lindelof dropped out of the side. He definitely was poor, but he's also just coming back. So don't throw him into a Premier League game again where Villa will target him again. It just wouldn't make sense anyways. So, Lindelof was awful that game, but also he's just coming back. So it wouldn't make sense to play him in a second game in a row. So I guess you'd have to go Lindelof, or not Lindelof. You have to go Varane and Maguire. Left back. This one could be very interesting. I could see him going.
Shaw's out. That's right. Shaw's out.
I mean, like he's injured, suspended.
He's suspended. Shaw McTominay suspended.
Okay, well then tell us who have to play at left back. Midfield pivot. Scott McTominay will 100% play.
He's out. He's suspended as well.
Oh yeah, he is suspended.
Man, come on, wake up. Premier prime time, wake up.
Nemanja Matic and Fred.
Oh my god, that midfield duo. But I like Fred.
I'm not saying that's what I want. This is not what
I know, but I'm not arguing. I'm not disagreeing with you. But that midfield duo, I don't see no
creativity.
Exactly.
No thinking. Anyways, now into the attack. If we're doing the 4-2-2, I will say Bruno Fernandes, and he loves Mason Greenwood, but he also likes Jadon Sancho. I'll go with Jadon Sancho and Bruno Fernandes, and up front Cristiano Ronaldo, Edinson Cavani. If he's going with a 4-2-3-1, then it will have to be Bruno Fernandes. I'll go with Jadon Sancho on the left and Mason Greenwood on the right-hand side, Bruno Fernandes in the middle, Cristiano Ronaldo up front. That's my predictions. And my score prediction will be 1-1. And you said 2-1?
Yeah, 2-0. Yeah, 2-0. I think we'll keep a clean sheet.
All right, fair enough.
Next, especially when the love starts.
Yeah. 3 games left. Next game, West Ham host Leeds at home. It's going to be straightforward.
Bagel FC, you call Leeds. Bagel FC.
I'll say 3-1 West Ham.
I'm saying 5-0 Leeds. No, I'm not joking. West Ham will win this game. And I'm going to say this, Antonio and Rice stand out. I'm going to, if Antonio is even available, I think so, yeah. West Ham 2-0.
All right, fair enough. Key players for Leeds.
No one. Dan James, maybe. Dan James.
Yeah, Welsh Sonic, he may be good, the Welsh Roadrunner.
What's going on with Calvin Phillips? That's my big question, man.
Leeds have that very good youngster, Gelhardt. He's a good player, man. Gelhardt, the youngster they signed from Wigan, he's a very good player. He's definitely been a shining light for them. He's been trying to step it up, and he's I see him as Daniel James when he first came in. He's a player coming in from the championship, and he's having to play so many games consecutively. He's going to get burnt out, but they have no other choice at the moment. Next, second to last game, Liverpool hosts Brentford. I think this actually be a more interesting game than people think, but I think, of course, Liverpool, even without Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, they should have enough quality to beat Brentford, in my opinion. They should have enough quality, but it definitely won't be as emphatic for me. You still have the likes of Diogo Jota, who's been one of the best attackers in the Premier League this season. He's been phenomenal. So you still have the likes of him. You know, regardless of people think about Firmino, he's still there. You have Origi, options. I think Minamino's injured, but you do have players there. So I'll say Liverpool 2, Brentford 0.
2 Brentford 0. I'm gonna say, especially if you're looking at Salah, Mane, Keita, or AFCON, Brentford could put up a performance, but is that, I think it's at Anfield, if I'm right? So yeah, okay. So Liverpool have that big advantage. So Liverpool 2-0.
Fair enough. And last but not least, of course, we did a preview to this yesterday, the North London derby. Tottenham taking on Arsenal at the new White Hart Lane. The first North London derby to have a full stadium in the Premier League, or a Premier League North London derby. The summer friendly doesn't count. But that's the first North London derby fixture in the Premier League that we will see full fans in the new White Hart Lane. That it should be definitely a very interesting game, very good game to watch. When you look at both sides, of course, I wouldn't say as severe, but Tottenham, of course, suffering injuries in their defense. I do think Christian Romero, I've been hearing that he could potentially, he started training this week, and that he could potentially be fit for this game, potentially.
Yeah.
And if he is, he's going straight into that line, into that side. And of course, you have Davinson Sanchez and Ben Davies, who's just looked like an absolutely amazing player now since Conte's come in. But they're Jaffa Tanganga, Joe Rodon, but Joe Rodon never plays. They're relatively weak in that area, but I don't think it's as dire as Arsenal situation, because they are down to the bare bones in midfield right now. Granit Xhaka, I think, is out with COVID at the moment.
No, he's back. He's starting today as well against Liverpool. Also, Odegaard has tested positive.
Oh, yeah, good point. Wait, what about Odegaard?
Yeah, he tested positive for COVID, so he's out for them.
Yeah, all right then. Yeah, I'll definitely be out for.
Yeah, Ollie's definitely in tears right now. So yeah.
And that I think that will guarantee Emil Smith Rowe a place back in the side, back in the starting 11. It'd have to be, but since Granit Xhaka is back, it as of right now, it's definitely gonna have to be Granit Xhaka and Albert Sambi Lokonga, good young player from Belgium, but still very young, very inexperienced. Granit Xhaka alongside him. That's the only midfield player that they have. And then you have Charlie Bettina, who's just a kid coming out of Hill End Academy. You can't throw him into a game like this. That'd be criminal. But key players from either side, Alexander Lacazette, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, very, very key. All of them on very, very good form. Lacazette may not have the goals, but his role is very important to that side. I think he's the right captain in terms of what Arsenal are doing right now. It seems like the young players are really, really listening to him. Emil Smith Rowe, I think it'll be interesting to see how he does on his return to the starting 11, I'll assume. And Gabriel, I heard, is actually available for this game. I thought he was suspended, but Sears told me otherwise yesterday, so he should be back. Tottenham Hotspur, of course, Harry Kane's now actually in good form. He's actually playing well this season. So, unfortunately, I can't make, any more, cheeky Harry Kane jokes or references. And who else? And Heung-min Son's out. Lucas Moura will be a decently key player. Davinson Sanchez, Hugo Lloris, the ones in form. Score predictions for this game. And what do you expect from both sides? Because both sides are on good form.
Yeah. Two good teams, I guess. I mean, Arsenal, they just lost to Nottingham Forest. I had to say that. Sorry, Arsenal fans, if you're watching this, but yeah, they just lost to Nottingham. I expect Arsenal to bounce back, but this is away, so this is going to be a very, very tough Arsenal because
Yes,
their
hostile
record,
territory as well.
away against Tottenham are not that good. So, yeah. My score predictions 2-2. I can see a draw happening in this game. And also key players, Gabriel, I'll say Tierney, Ramsdale, possibly Xhaka maybe, Smith Rowe, Saka, Lacazette. I mean, I think
For me, I think it could be 2 on Arsenal, potentially. It could be, but then again, in the middle of the park, I think Antonio Conte is going to go with, instead of that 3-4-3, I think he'll pack players in that midfield because I think he will do everything he can to exploit and expose that midfield or the lack of depth Arsenal have. I think he'll go with a 3-5-2 or 5-3-2. For me personally, that's what I think he'll do. He'll try and pack players in there, but the qualities, Harry Winks. You have Harry Winks.
yeah, they just don't mention the names.
Yeah, there you go. But he could very well go with the double pivot, and if he does, it'll most likely be Oliver Skip and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg.
Yeah.
It have to be, but it could very well be 2 on Arsenal. But yeah, I'll go for draw as well. Yeah, I'll predict 2-2 as well. Anything else to say before we wrap up this show?
Make sure you guys subscribe to Football Fan Show. I'll be doing a North London derby watch along, so yeah, make sure to tune into that on Sunday. Lindelof is the greatest centre back I've seen in a United shirt. I'm just joking, but yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's it from me.
Yeah.
And also, United are going to win against Aston Villa on Saturday, and we're going to win the Champions League and the FA Cup. I'm sending you this right now. So, yes.
Anyways, thank you for your time watching this on Premier League Prime Time, wherever you are in the world, especially like on this video. Comment below. What are your thoughts, Ben, on the 2 games played this past week, and some of the games this upcoming weekend? Yeah, like and subscribe. Look at our other platforms. Check out Orest channel, Football Fan Show.
Check out tomorrow's stream, Friday show.
Yep.
Daveye will be on there. Yep.
Links in the description below. And wherever you're watching this in the world, have a great day or evening.